House Minority Whip Steve Scalise and Congressman Jim Jordan join me now. Thanks so much for your both being here tonight. I understand that we've got Congressman Scalise, I guess, on the phone. But I'll start with you, Congressman Jordan. So, oh, good, Congressman, good. All right. Can you tell me, Congressman Scalise, what's your reaction to my open?
Well, you hit the nail on the head. And look, I mean, this lady's, the Attorney General of New York's been trying to shut the NRA down since she came into office. She's literally trying to weaponize her office to waste taxpayer money to go after a political vendetta that she's had against the NRA. And she's made statements to that point long before there were any kind of allegations of wrongdoing. So here's an example of a prosecutor looking to put somebody away before they even see a crime. And she just wants to shut down the NRA. That's not what taxpayer dollars are supposed to be used for. It's an abuse of our office.
All right. And Congressman Jordan, your reaction?
Well, Judge, this is just one more example of the left, one more, as you said in your opening, one more example of the cancel culture mob attacking conservatives. And understand the timing. This is the same old playbook the Democrats always go to. In 2012, before that presidential election, it was Lois Lerner and the Obama-Biden IRS that went after Tea Party groups. In 2016, it was the Obama-Biden Justice Department that spied on President Trump's campaign and then went after Michael Flynn to cover up what they did during the campaign. And now, of course, just 80-some days before the election, they go after the NRA. This is scary. The only thing the left wants people to do is protest. They don't want you to go to church. They don't want you to go to work. They don't want you to go to school. And now they're trying to come after your Second Amendment liberties as well. This is the same old left, and that's why we have to defeat them. As you pointed out, we got to make sure President Trump gets reelected.
And, you know, Congressman Scalise, you were shot at a baseball game, the Congressional baseball game, by an individual who wanted to make sure that there were Republicans, that they were Republicans that he was shooting at. You've got to have a very personal take about this. What is your take on guns?
Well, Judge Jeanine, I'm passionate about people's Second Amendment rights. And in fact, it was people with guns who saved my life and everybody else who was on that ball field. Because if it was just the gunman with the gun, and look, as Jim Jordan pointed out, the left has been wanting to take away our guns for a long time. And this isn't just about taking away our Second Amendment rights. It's about targeting conservatives. But if there weren't people with guns, I wouldn't be here. Neither would a lot of other people. And every day in America, people use guns to save their lives. Look, they want to defund the police. And think about what that means. If you're at your house, just you and your family, and there's no police around, or they've defunded the police like cities like New York and Minneapolis are doing, if somebody comes to your house, who's there to protect you? It's you with your family with a gun. We better fight to protect our Second Amendment rights, and don't let the left take it away. Joe Biden wants to take our guns away, and he's letting these people run his agenda.
Yeah, Judge, and that's why there are record sales for firearms right now. I was just saying, that's why, as you pointed out, that's why there are record sales for firearms as we speak. People understand what happened to the McCloskeys. People like this Attorney General in New York, what she's trying to do. Americans understand that the Second Amendment is right next to the First for a reason. It's pretty darn important, and they're exercising that liberty as we speak.
You know, Congressman Jordan, I don't know if you heard it, but, you know, I had just heard this from a friend of mine who's a member of the National DA's Association, but DA Jackie Lacey in L.A., the Black Lives Matter movement, they were rioters, protesters. They actually came to their home. I think it was 5 in the morning, if I'm not correct, I'm not sure. And, you know, he took a gun out that he had a license for, and the AG is prosecuting him for it. So it's not just taking down the NRA, it's people who have legal guns who are trying to protect themselves and property. When even in St. Louis, the McCloskeys, they were like, you know, they said that the protesters were going to live in their house. This is crazy stuff, but I want to get on to something even more important, and that is what President Trump did today. Congressman Scalise, what about the 4 points that the president did? He jumped over Congress on this one. He said, enough. I feel the Americans' pain. I'm going to make sure that they get $400 in extended unemployment benefits, as well as no evictions, no foreclosures, student loans forgiven for a period of time, as well as paycheck protection. What say you?
Well, Judge, this is an example of President Trump taking an executive action when you saw Speaker Pelosi and Chuck Schumer trying to hold people hostage to push their left-wing agenda. They didn't want to help families. They were trying to use that as leverage, and they've used that term before, by the way. President Trump did an end run around them and took away their leverage by taking executive action. And let's keep this in mind. Barack Obama used executive action to go after people. Agencies like the IRS, as Jim Jordan pointed out, the EPA to shut down businesses and the energy industry. What you see President Trump doing is using the weight of the federal government to help people, to help families getting through tough times, to find, by the way, a vaccine for COVID-19, which he's done by getting the FDA to expedite the testing and the research with the best scientists in the world. President Trump is using his power to help people. They want to take power to literally take away our rights and ultimately to do mail-in ballots to illegals, health care to illegals. That's their agenda, and President Trump's fighting for them. That's what's at stake this November, Judge.
All right. And Congressman Jordan, your thoughts on what the president did today by basically jumping over Congress, saying enough is enough?
Yeah, Stevie's exactly right. The president's looking to help families around this country. But what is also happening out there is the great American comeback has started. We've seen the jobs numbers. So the president said instead of negotiating with Nancy Pelosi, he wants to spend $3-4 trillion more money on all kinds of crazy items. Let's help families as the comeback and the rebound are taking off. I think it's the right move. I think the American people understand that. And I think in 80-some days, as you pointed out, President Trump's going to get reelected.
Well, I think that he will be, but I really think that this move, and I spoke with someone earlier today who said to me, you know, Jeanine, you have no idea how many people are really hurting and what a difference this is going to make in their lives. So, Congressman Scalise, Congressman Jordan, thanks so much for being with us on Justice Tonight. We really appreciate it.
Great being with you, Judge.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you, Judge.